All right, what's going on, y'all? So the outboard behind me refuses to start. It will not start in any way, shape, or form. So I suspect it has no spark because it has good fuel. So we're gonna run through some tests, check the kill switch circuit, check the stator, check the trigger and timer base, and check the power packs and coil packs. And we're gonna get this thing going. So let's go ahead and dig into it, guys. All right, let's do a rundown here. Big red plug, looks good on the inside, no corrosion there. Come up to the trigger timer base wires, look good, no corrosion inside there. There's no chafing, no shorts. Come down, power pack looks good visually from the outside. The voltage wires from the stator to the power pack look good, no corrosion in there. This is the kill switch circuit wire right here. It looks good on the inside, no corrosion, and there's no shorts. It's not shorting out anywhere. Replaced all 3 spark plugs this side. Check the coils. Coils look good visually. There is some telltale signs of oozing here. They were oozing that goo from the inside, but they were replaced, so they look good. Spark plug wires look good. Come over here, same deal. Everything looks good. Coils, signs of oozing, but they were replaced. So let's check the power pack on this side. All right, so the power pack looks good visually. The kill switch circuit here, kill switch wire, looks good. There's no corrosion in there. Not shorted out, grounded out anywhere. Same dealio with the voltage wires from the stator to the power pack on this side. Looks good. No corrosion in there. No shorts anywhere, but it is missing the little metal plug there, metal cap retainer. And then if we come here, all these look good. No corrosion, no breaks, man, nothing. So right here, the trigger timer base wires look good, no corrosion in there, no chafing up in here. So really visually it's fine. Visually nothing's going on here. But one thing I do know, and it's giving me a clue here, you can see the stator was replaced, CDI. That's a pretty new stator, right? It's not from 1986 like the rest of the outboard. If you look up here, CDI, the voltage regulator rectifier was replaced in the past. So if you check the trigger and timer base out here, the wires are super rubbery and they're really old. So that's original to the outboard. I can tell you that right now. So that's where I'm going to start. I have a sneaking suspicion that's the problem. So let's check the stator. We're going to do this quick and dirty. No special tools. All you need is a $10 multimeter. All right, looks like we got some voltage on this side. It's supposed to be like 150 volts. Probably wasn't that much. Let's check the other side. All right, so it looks like we got some voltage there. I don't have a DVA adapter, so it's not going to be accurate. It's supposed to be like 150 volts, but we got something there. So let's try something else. All right, so let's test the kill switch circuit. I have the multimeter hooked up right here to the kill switch wire that goes back to the remote control. When I plug it in, it's going to start beeping. When I turn the key on, it should stop beeping if the kill switch circuit is good. All right, it works good on this side. Let's check the other side. All right, same dealio. All right, so I'm gonna turn the key and the beeping's gonna stop. You hear it beeping? Turn the key, off. Turn the key, off. That's what I was doing. turn the key, off. So the kill switch circuit works fine. It's working fine on both sides. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, so if you want to get the remote start switch put on your Evinrude so you can diagnose it from behind, don't have to keep running up to the helm to get to the key, disconnect the big red plug right there. There's a yellow wire here, red wire up top. It just basically shorts them so that it jumps the solenoid there instead of doing it with the key. You can see, works great. If you hook it up wrong, there's gonna be fire though, so make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. All right guys, so I got a remote start switch set up here and I got a timing light right here. Let's see if there's any spark. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing, guys. It does not have spark. So we're gonna have to dig a little deeper. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take these plugs off of the trigger timer base. I know that's gonna be the problem. I know it's gonna be there. So we're gonna test this thing with a multimeter on both sides and see if that's it. All right, so right in front of you here, I have a CDI Johnson Evinrude reference chart. It has the DVA peak voltage readings and some resistances for the triggers and the stators and all that stuff. So basically, right here, what we're looking for is, this is the model, the 1986 Evinrude 150, and we are looking for 15 to 50 ohms right here. So let's check that, and we're looking for 0.6 volts. 0.6 volts. I don't have a DVA adapter, so hopefully we'll find something with the ohms here. But I will link this up in the description because, man, this service literature is invaluable. Like, you cannot fix this without this. So I'll link it up down there. Let's see what they're reading. All right, so we're supposed to go white to blue, white to purple, and white to green. 12 ohms. 12 ohms. 12 ohms, 12.1 ohms. Okay, well, on the reference chart here, it says we want 15 to 50 ohms. So just off the bat, that's not good, right? 15 to 50 ohms. That right there is, like, you know, not good. Let's check the other side. .1, okay, that's similar to the other side. 33.3 ohms, what? 12, okay, that's close enough. So this green one right here, I checked it before and I wasn't even getting a reading on it before. It said 0 ohms. Something's up with this thing. I guess it's just worn out and old because the ohm readings are like supposed to be 15 to 50. We're getting 12 and then this one's reading 32 and before it was reading 0. So, you know, I'm gonna pull the flywheel. I'm taking this old one off and I'm gonna order a new one and we're gonna swap it out and see. I bet you that's gonna get it, guys. Normally you can hook up a DVA adapter and hook it in here, you know, and read the voltages and stuff. I'm not even gonna bother with it. I've diagnosed this enough. I'm confident this is it. Let's pull the flywheel off and see what we got up under here. So check out this flywheel holder tool I made right here for Evinrude Johnson Outboards. Basically, it's a piece of bed frame with a handle welded on it right here. Drilled a hole in here and then I cut it up. I cut a notch in it so it would fit around the socket on the flywheel, and same dealio here, and it's just got these holes in it so that you can put it on top of the flywheel like that and then hold your flywheel to get it off. So let's go see it in action. All right guys, so check out my flywheel holder tool. I got it installed right here. You can see it clearances like that, right? So the socket goes right down in there. It's just old bed frame, angle iron with a pivot point and grade 8 bolts. So these grade 8 bolts, these holes are fine thread. I believe they're 5/16 24 fine thread. But you know, we're gonna need them for the puller. You gotta go get them for the puller. And I keep a bag on me. So I keep a bag in the shop like this, full of a bunch of grade 8 fine thread bolts for pulling these things on outboards. Man, this comes in handy. Big time, because these are always fine thread on the top of the flywheel. Let's get this thing off. It it works great. I'm telling y'all, this thing is awesome. Well, the flywheel key isn't sheared. We kind of already knew that, right? Let's pop the top off. All right, guys, so here's the harmonic balancer puller. I rented it down at AutoZone. Basically, we're just gonna use this piece and the center piece and the little cup. And then you go down to the hardware store, get you some 5/16 inch diameter, 24 thread pitch, fine thread, grade 8 bolts. Of course, they gotta be grade 8. And we're just gonna thread them in, you know, pop the thing off. Let's do it. Well, the flywheel magnets are pristine. They're perfect. The Stator flywheel magnets are perfect. They just got a little bit of paint chipping off. And then the timer base flywheel magnets around here are flawless. There's nothing wrong with them. So the problem still lies within the trigger timer base, I'm sure. So let's look at that. All right, boys and girls, we are back with the new part, CDI Electronics. Only buy CDI parts, ignition components for your outboards. They run the best, they work the best. No one's paying me to say this. I've used this company a lot and they make the best stuff, better than OEM. So, part number 133377. Open her up. Assembled in the USA, baby. See what it's looking like. Okay, that looks a little bit more high-tech, a little bit more 2021 than 1986. So there's the part number again. It looks like we're gonna have to swap over to these plugs because that's the configuration mine are in, like that, not like this. So we're gonna have to get these wires to match. I got a trick for that. You can just stick a nail down in there, a flat tip nail in there, and pop them out, pop them in the new rubbers. Let's see what it looks like compared to the old one. All right, so here's the new one. Here's the old one side by side. You can see, yeah, this thing is old school, 1986 for sure. It's got like it's aluminum base and it's got like this bronze bushing in there to help it glide better. And this is metal here. And on this one, it's plastic. Of course, we're gonna have to steal the little plastic ring out of here and put it in there so it slides freely. But yeah, it's got better braiding. The wires are much better condition on the new one. Obviously, these wires are rubber spaghetti. So, let's get this thing put on. Alright guys, so I'm going to button this thing up. This video is getting kind of lengthy, but basically, here's the new trigger timer base. You know, take it out. Put some white lithium grease on here. Put it down on there, so that it rotates freely, and it should sit all the way down up in there really good, just like that. Should sit down in there real nice like, and it should rotate freely and smoothly and not bind or stick. If it binds or sticks, you got problems and it will not run right. It has to move freely, even more freely than this is moving right now. It's got to move freely. And when you put the stator back up top, you put all these wires where they're supposed to go. You want to make sure it doesn't chafe on the flywheel, because if it chafes, you got problems too. It's going to short out and ruin a brand new part. All right, so you can see these clips right here. It's got one here, one here, one here, one here. You need to put some blue Loctite on those. So take the bolt all the way out, put some blue Loctite on there, because if these back out, you know, that ring can come off and you got problems. You got to take the whole flywheel back off again.
All right, guys, check it out. Make sure that end piece of this little metal does not rub on the blue part in there, because it'll bind it up too.
Watch that bad boy rotate. I'm pushing down on the handle on the remote control. You see it? See it rotating? See it? Yeah. It's flying freely. It's lubricated. All right, so on Evinrude Johnson, if you guys ever need to take these plugs apart, you get a nail like this, jam them up in there, cut them, and just push them out. You can get a pin pusher tool, but this is redneck style. Works great. All right, so the Stator torque spec is 120 to 144 inch-pounds. All right, let's go ahead and get this flywheel on. All right, flywheel nut torque chart, 140 to 145 foot-pounds. All right, guys, let's see if this thing's got spark now. I've been working on this all day long. Please, God, please let this thing work. Yeah, buddy, yes, yes. It's fixed, look at that. Yes, we did it, guys. We did it, we did it, we did it. Yes, I told you it was the trigger. I told you it was. All right, let's fire this thing up. Yes, buddy. Oh, guys, I've been working on this for like 8 hours straight. 8 hours. All right. So, this bank right here has got spark. This one doesn't. So, we gotta dig a little deeper. The hype, the excitement was a little bit too soon, but we're almost there. Almost there, guys, almost there. I'm gonna mess with it a little bit more, and we're gonna get this thing running. All right, sweet, y'all. Sweet. It's running. We fixed it. I knew it was the trigger timer base. I knew it was. So the biggest tip I have is watch those two plugs that come off of the trigger timer base, because the wires, they like to push each other out, and then they don't make contact. That's what happened last night. They weren't making contact inside the plug. So it's like this, and it has to slip over. So watch that. Make sure that they're fully seated. But other than that, guys, it's running, but not well, okay? We can't run it like this just yet. We have to re-link and sync all the carbs, all the timing, check the pickup timing, the wide open throttle timing, because if the wide open throttle timing is too far retarded, it won't run well. If it's too far advanced, it can burn holes in the pistons and cause, you know, pretty immediate engine damage. So it has to be set per the manual. That's a whole nother video. Check it out up here if y'all want to see how to do that. But other than that, guys, I'm about done working on this thing for today, so I'll check y'all out on the next one. Don't forget to drop me a huge thumbs up down below and comment and subscribe for more boat videos in the future. Peace.